In a world where time is a precious commodity, I'm so grateful that you have chosen to spend a portion of your evening with us, celebrating the vibrant, adaptable, diverse, and resilient Washington English Center community. I think it's always appropriate to begin with a little gratitude, so I'd like to start with the host committee. Thanks to these individuals and organizations and the fundraising momentum that their match grant created, we are celebrating our community tonight filled with hope for our future. Many of you were able to view the full donor roll while sitting in the waiting room. If not, we will show it again at the end. It's also up on the main page of our website. Right now, though, we would like to give a special shout out to our corporate sponsors. So Chris, if you could please roll the tape. Thanks again to these corporate sponsors, many of whom have representatives in tonight's audience. We thank you and your coworkers for your important commitment to the local nonprofit community, and especially to WEC. We will get to acknowledging our amazing students and committed volunteers in just a moment, but there is a group that doesn't always get the gratitude that it deserves. A small team of just 9 people is responsible for all of the curriculum development, volunteer recruitment, training, observation, student outreach, onboarding, technology, finance, HR, fundraising, social media, and other communications that are required in order to offer classes, tutoring, clubs, community fairs, and workforce development programs to adult immigrants in the DC area. Their jobs became ever more complicated when they were forced to work from kitchen tables and laundry rooms in homes that they share with kids, significant others, roommates, and noisy pets. Things that would have taken mere minutes in person now require Zoom meetings and screenshots and an extraordinary amount of patience. I am proud to introduce my intrepid colleagues to you and thank them for striving to maintain professionalism and keep our mission alive during a tough year. So in alphabetical order, they are Yuritsa Abrego, Volunteer Manager.
Hi, hello, welcome.
Claudia Belloso, Student Services Manager.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Liz Daly, Director of Development and Communications.
Thank you for being here.
Sara Davila, Student Services Associate.
Hi, thank you for coming.
Jesse Eversol, Director of Academic Programs.
Hi, everyone. Great to see all of you.
Chris Griffiths, Associate Director of Operations.
Hi, everybody. Wonderful to see all of you tonight.
Sheila Harris, ESOL Manager.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Wonderful to see all of you.
Renee McKee, Director of Student Services.
Sorry, it took me a little longer to unmute than everyone else. Thank you for coming.
And Danny Snyder, ESOL Associate.
Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Thanks, team. Diane's going to talk in a few moments about the wonderful WEC board. And so I'd like to take a moment to thank our amazing associate board. These unsung heroes pivoted to online programming this year to reach a wide audience through creative means when we could no longer meet in person at happy hours in the city. Through online cooking and exercise classes, group trivia night, They raised awareness of and much needed funds for WEC. Not only that, but many of these AB members brought to bear their own professional skills and the resources of their employers on the challenges we face at WEC. So thank you to the entire associate board, and especially to Alana Garelick, who is stepping down this summer after 3 years as its chair. In closing, I just want to touch on our theme for the evening, celebrating our community. As many of you may know, a small committee made up of board members, volunteers, and staff has been working on a roadmap for WEC's next 3 years. Some might say that this is not the time to embark on a new strategic plan. But I say that there's no better time, because now that we are taking into account the impact of COVID on how we deliver our services in person and online, it's important that we think about our future. In our interviews with donors and teachers and community partners, one word kept recurring again and again and again: community. People described it as what made WEC special, as our secret sauce, and as the reason that they were drawn to WEC in the first place and why they are still here. As a result, I did some serious research about the concept of community. Almost all definitions speak of sameness, shared norms, shared cultural backgrounds, or shared characteristics. So how is it then that an organization that serves students from over 100 countries, who speak over 40 languages, with volunteers from all walks of life, how can that call itself a community? Then I had a classic moment of stumbling down an internet rabbit hole. I rediscovered the concept of Ubuntu, which comes to us from sub-Saharan Africa. This is the way that one international scholar described it. Ubuntu implies that everyone has different skills and strengths, that people are not isolated, and that through mutual support, they can help each other to complete themselves. Again, everyone has different skills and strengths. People are not isolated, and through mutual support, they can help each other to complete themselves. We all know that WEC seeks to provide immigrants with the education and support they need to achieve their goals. But I have heard so many volunteers say that WEC has provided as much or more than what they themselves have given to this community. It reminded me of one of my favorite quotes from a student this year who said, "I cannot thank my tutors enough for helping me. I want to thank them for going into a digital world, for exchanging your whiteboard for a computer, for transforming yourselves during adversity, for deciding that even if everything stops, learning continues, for helping me build my future from your home to mine." And so it is that we do all have our different skills and strengths. We did not allow ourselves to become isolated, not even by a pandemic. And through mutual support, I think we are all helping each other complete ourselves. And that is what I think we're gathered here to celebrate tonight. And now I'd like to reintroduce my colleague, Sarah Davila, who is responsible for so much of what you will see and hear for the rest of the evening. Sarah?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Sarah Davila. I was a student at WEC in 2018, and now I am part of the Student Services team. I moved to the US from Venezuela 3 years ago. When I moved here, I couldn't say a word in English. And I remember how hard my first month in this country were. When you are an immigrant and you need to leave your country because you want to or because you have to, you leave behind your family, friends, language, and culture. You lose everything. Your life starts from the scratch. WEC helped me with my English and support me in finding my first job. They coached me in preparing for my interview, writing my cover letters, and writing my resume too. That was something I had never done before. Also, WC showed me an incredible community and taught me how important it is to work for your community. WEC is here helping our students, believing in them and teaching them always. We believe in the power of education, which can break barriers and enrich life. Because if we can speak, we can dream, and we have a voice. I am so grateful to WEC because it changed my life. And now I am so proud to say I am part of the WEC family. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce some members of that incredible family, among them a few of our volunteers and students. While they are telling us their story, please feel free to comment in the chat about your own experiences with WEC. Here is Francesca, one of our volunteer teachers, talking about why she volunteers at WEC.
I'm Francesca. I'm a conversation tutor at the Washington English Center. I returned in 2020 as a volunteer, but I had volunteered there before in the classroom several years ago, and throughout my life at other organizations that help immigrants to the United States to learn English. I believe in the mission wholeheartedly. This is something that I do and have done my entire life because I am the daughter of immigrants. My parents came from Sicily in 1950, and it was very evident to me early on in my life that language learning was the key to making it in the United States, to feeling like we belonged. So I've dedicated my life to language learning. I studied foreign languages in college, and I went on to work in international student exchange. And at every step of the way, learning English has been critical to my work. And I've worked with colleagues who needed to learn it, and I've had friends, family, all kinds of people for which language was the way forward. So I firmly believe in it. I'm excited to be back. I love working with my student, and I don't think she realizes it, but I get more from the process maybe than even she does. It's a wonderful way to engage, and I'll continue doing it as long as I can. So I am happy to be part of this group and would like to keep going, and I hope that we can all join together, especially in this year of COVID, to advance the mission and to continue working for this really important effort. Thanks so much for organizing and for everything you do for the volunteers to help us do our job.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to read a few comments. It looks like everyone is praising Sarah for being so wonderful. Thank you, Sarah. Your speech was beautiful. Anne says, I've been loving the great Instagram post. Yes, beautiful words, Sarah. Yumna says same. All right, any other comments? I do have a few from our donors that I can read. Claudia says, so glad Sarah is part of our WEC team. You rock. Yes. So yeah, here's a few comments that we received from our donors. We believe that the exceptional students, staff, and volunteer teachers at WC should be supported generously through our COVID Zoom year. WC renders a wonderful service for those learning English and improving their proficiency. To a great organization offering a valuable service to English learners in the community and beyond. Next up, any other comments? I'll give it a few seconds if that anybody wants to share. Don't be shy. All right, well, there's no other comments. We'll go, next up, I have the pleasure of presenting to you a very special video of our academic programs put together tonight. So I hope you enjoy.
Since we have closed our doors back in March 2020, this is what we have accomplished.
We had over 1,500 new tutoring matches made. Woo. and over 800 new volunteers joined us since March 2020.
We had 183 volunteers who had previously taught or tutored in person, who took the plunge to try something new and teach at WEC virtually.
We've had 28 live Zoom teaching workshops, and the recordings have now been viewed 892 times.
Over the past year, volunteers have led over 28 different virtual clubs.
In the fall, WEC packed its physical location while getting ready to restart group ESOL classes online. Additionally, over half of the staff moved to new homes throughout the DC area.
We restarted citizenship classes online.
This year, our community has included students from over 43 different countries. And we have had over 790 students studying virtually, both across the United States and in other parts of our world.
So far, we have put together 14 different volunteer socials, with events ranging from volunteer appreciation, festive happy hours, coffee socials, meditation, and even yoga classes. WEC celebrated the achievements of our students in 4 virtual graduation ceremonies.
As everyone is getting vaccinated, we're looking forward to in-person and continued virtual classes in the near future.
If the WEC community can accomplish all of this during a global pandemic, who knows what we'll be able to achieve together next? The future is looking bright.
Thank you so much. Every student at WEC has their own amazing story. We'll be hearing from one of them next.
Years ago, I arrived in DC. The next day, after I arrived, I went to buy a SIM card for my phone. When I entered an AT&T shop, a young man walked to me. I told him I needed a card for my phone. Then he began to introduce about their package. But I cannot understand. With the paper he printed out, he helped me to get my card. After I went back home, I immediately Googled online to see if there are some schools can help me learning English. I found one in the center of the city with many good reviews. It was Washington English Center. According to my entrance test, I began to learn English from level 4. I found that what I learned, in fact, far beyond the language. In Washington English Center, all the students from all over the world. We study together, talk about everything. I think I'm not only improved my English, but also know a lot about other countries' history and culture. All the teachers of the Washington English Center are volunteers. They are very kind. They teach us English and help us to begin our life in a new place. They are very patient and helpful. They correct our mistakes in using English and tell us a lot of knowledge about America. Sometimes in our daily life, we don't know how to do something or where we can get what we need. We also ask this to our teachers. They help us solve these things which might face as newcomers. 2 years ago, when I just arrived in America, I could only speak out some words to let other people understand my meaning. At that time, I cannot use the phone to make reservations or ask questions. I prefer to in-person communication. Maybe face expression can help me to understand their meanings. When visiting new museums, I found most of the history, events, and figures I had never heard. Now, after 2 years studying English at the Washington English Center, I'm more confident in communicating with people in English. My English is really improved a lot in these 2 years, and I also learned a lot about this country. Thank you. Thank you, Washington English Center.
Thank you, Jude. Next, here is Deborah, another of our volunteer teachers presenting her experiences at WAC.
Hello, my name is Deborah Katz, and I've been a volunteer at WEC since 2014. I've done conversation clubs, I've taught classes, and I've tutored individual students. I've certainly learned how incredibly difficult English is as a language to learn, both because of all the quirky idioms that we have and a new crazy grammatical rule around every corner, and then exceptions to that rule around the next corner. I hope that I've helped my students to master this very difficult language, but I know that I've learned so much more from them than they ever could have learned from me. I've just enjoyed learning from them, meeting them, and even sharing a laugh or two now and then with my students. They're wonderful, they're exceptional, each in their own way, and I've enjoyed every bit of it. So thank you so much, WEC, for all that you do for us volunteers, and of course all you do for our students from near and from far. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, for your moving words. Now it's time to present Maricela. She is the student at WEC, and she wants to share with us a couple of words.
Hi, thank you for the invitation. It is a pleasure for me to be here. My name is Maricela Castillo, and I am a Venezuelan journalist and human rights activist. When I came to this country 3 years ago, I didn't speak English. So I can say that one of my most important decisions in my life has been part of Washington English Center as a student. Right now I have the opportunity, the huge opportunity to show my career, explain who I am, what do I do for my country in Venezuela. As I told you, I am a Venezuelan journalist, and also I am the executive director of an humanitarian organization in Venezuela. So for me, to talk in English, to speak in English right now with you means a lot, and means because it's an open window to explain who I am, what do I do, and to show to the world and other countries how bad my country it is. So thank you so much for Washington English Center. I just want to share with you my experience. Washington English Center is not only a regular English academy. I have found more than that. I have found support, help, and of course, the best teachers of English in the world. They are not only my teachers, they are my support. They have helped me a lot, and they are my friends right now. So thank you so much. Keep working, keep doing. You are doing an amazing job, not only helping me. I'm sure that you're helping thousands and thousands of immigrants that came to the US to have a better life In my case, I came to this country for have the opportunity to live with freedom, with human rights, and the opportunity to study and be better. So thank you so much for all the work that you have done for a lot of years. Thank you.
Hi again. I hope you all enjoy the videos from tonight. I'm just going to read a few comments here. We have a comment from David. He was one of my first students at WEC. She was a delight and hardworking. I just saw her in the morning in a little WEC Zoom reunion. Oh, how nice. Jesse says, Hugh has had perfect attendance for 2 terms in a row. That's 88 straight. Wow. He saw classes 4 days a week for 2 weeks. Round of applause for her. Let's see. John says, clearly she had excellent teachers. True. Brock says, those who come make us better. Yes. Let's see what is Mary Douglas says, thank you to my dear friend David, who volunteered, teaches from Colorado. Wow, all the way from Colorado. Thank you. Francine, it is a pleasure to tutor Maricela. I learn more from her than she does from me. She's not only a great student, but also an amazing person. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, she seems wonderful. And then I have a few comments from our donors here that I'll read. Thanks to WC for continuing to support the DC's area's English learners. I'm donating to pay it forward. Immigrants are the lifeblood of America. We are all immigrants. I love the idea of being a brick in the foundation upon which someone builds a new life in our country. And one last comment, thank you to our volunteers for continuing to teach English to our neighbors and friends in the community. All right, thanks everyone for sharing your comments. And now I have the honor of handing it over to the chair of the board of Washington English Center for closing remarks. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to see so many familiar faces, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Diane Zapersky, and after all these wonderful comments and presentations and emotions that have been shared tonight, it's kind of a hard act to follow, but with the last name of Zapersky, I'm kind of used to being at the end, so it's a very comfortable position for me. I'm really happy to be here representing the board of directors. I'm so lucky to be serving with such a talented and devoted group of people. I'm so grateful for their expertise, their perspective, their insight, and their commitment to ensuring the sustainability and the success of Washington English Center. Most are joining us tonight, and I want to thank all of you for your time and your generosity. As all the speakers have demonstrated, as well as the thoughts shared by so many of you this evening, we have so much to celebrate within our WEC community. On behalf of the board, I want to add our thanks to our dedicated and adaptable volunteers, our tireless, talented, and creative staff, our committed and generous donors, and of course, to our students for entrusting WEC with helping them to meet their goals and teaching us all along the way as well. I'm so very proud and honored to be part of this community. The timing of our celebration this evening is really perfect. Masks are coming off, families and friends are gathering once again together. The sun is shining, flowers abound, and the cicadas are here. I don't think our world will ever go back to the pre-pandemic normal, and that has its distinct advantages. For WEC, we embraced technology, and in doing so, we not only maintained our community, we expanded it. We're so looking forward to once again teaching classes in person, seeing all of you, while at the same time continuing to offer online instruction to better meet our students where they are. WEC's future is a very exciting one, and thanks to each of you who adds value in so many different ways, our community will continue to meet its mission and embrace our vision that all immigrants have access to the education and support they need to achieve their goals. So thank you all so very much. Enjoy this evening, stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing all of you in person in the coming months. Cheers. And that's it, right, John?
Yes, I think Chris is just going to just scroll through the donor roll one more time, and you can continue to put comments in the chat. We will curate them and we'll be sharing them with folks who weren't able to attend tonight. So thank you very much.
Like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say it's all right. Little darling, the smiles are returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since they've been there. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. Slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Oh, here goes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. It's all right. No, 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 no. It's all right.
I wanted to give Richie his due, but now that he's done, the future is bright for Washington English. Thank you all for coming out to celebrate our community, and have a good evening. Thank you.